What up, YouTube? It's your personal driver, and today I have been working on this video. I'm so excited for you. It is the top 5 reasons, plus some extra bonus reasons on the back end, of why Uber is going to fail in 2019. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, they're going to fail miserably in 2019. Why? Because Uber is full of fail. But we'll get to that in a second. Just some real quick house cleaning topics here. You can tell that it's laundry day at the Powell house, so I don't want to hear any nasty comments about how dirty the house is. Yeah, I'm aware. I'm completely aware, and we're working it. Also, Nate the Great built himself a pillow fort and then covered himself with a blanket and is sleeping. So the baby's sleeping right here. So keep an eye out for that. Keep an eye out for babies. Okay, so guys, I'm going to go over some real quick reasons why I think that Uber is just going to fail miserably this year. But before we get started, I wanted to say, hear me now, quote me later. Uber is not going public in 2019, okay? I've been saying that for like 2 years now. But hear me now with your ears. Quote me later with your mouth. Uber is not going public in 2018. Ray in the house. What's up, Ray? What's going on, man? Let me just pull up my, I had a list of reasons here that I want to go point by point. I don't know why I closed the window like an idiot. Uberman in the house. What's up, Uberman? Let me get this. Here we go. Here we go. Perfect. So, let's go here to this reason. I'm just going to line these up here. Okay. Patrick Sargent in the house. What's up, man? What's going on? How you doing? Here's a list here. I don't know why I closed the window like an idiot. That was really dumb of me to do that. Okay. Uber Freight is blooming right now. Well, that's going to be part of the problem. I'm glad that you're doing all right. It's better than terrible. So, reason number 1. ABM 7797 in the house. When is Tryp starting in New Jersey? We can talk about Tryp a little while here. I think I just got a list of and I'd be actually starting sooner. I hate doing live streams because of this reason. I always get back up. Let me check it up here. I got a list of the cities they're opening up in. No, New Jersey isn't on the list. They're going to do the beta test in Arizona, Phoenix and Tucson in Arizona, in New Mexico, and Ohio. So those are the 4 places they're doing the beta, not New Jersey. They're going to do it after the beta. They have to do a beta test of the software first. They don't know if it's going to work or not. I mean, you don't want to launch an app that doesn't work, right? You have to test it first. Alan Pickett's in the house. So will Lyft prevail and be the king? No, they won't. I mean, Uber's still a monster, but they're we'll get there. No booming, not blooming. I hear you there. If they add the 5th clean air fee in Europe, that might sink them. Well, no, they have to. They have to have all electric cars. Now that's just not Uber. That's everybody, including taxis, by 2025. So anyway, that's a good idea. In the United States, if you have an electric car, they should charge you an extra fee anyway, and have it like an Uber Green. That's what I think they should do if they were innovative. People will pay extra money to have an electric car pick them up. So let them pay extra money and the driver will get more money. But anyway, I digress. So reason number 1, Uber is going to fail in 2019. It won't go public. So, for 2 years now I've been saying Lyft is going to, hey, the Munchkin's in the house. What's up, the Munchkin? Hey, man, happy to actually get to watch a stream. Usually they're not on when I'm around. Well, I'm glad that you're on. Oh, man, we got a celebrity in the house. The Munchkin's watching this stream, huh? And I know you don't cover Uber Freight, but I'll keep you up to par. My subscribers always keep me on. I'll do a live stream just on Uber Freight, just for you. And why it's a terrible idea. So we're going to go over here to this screen. Click over here. Always, in the description below is going to be all these articles if you want to read them on yourself. So what happened was, like I said, I nailed it. God, I was so good in 2018. In 2018, in January, I said Lyft was going to go public in quarter 4, and they were going to release their IPO in quarter 2 of 2019. And in December, Lyft made me keep my promise and announced they were going public. And it took Uber by surprise. And they were like, "Oh, we're totally going public in 2019 too. Yeah, we're totally going public." Fred Waller in the house. You're working from home, cool. But then what happened? Immediately as we got into the second week of January, day 8, January 8th, it's only been 8 days into January. What happens? The CEO of Uber has to come out and start lowering expectations. They have to start talking about how, oh, did we say we were going public in 2019? Yeah, about going public in 2019, we're not. So, like I said before, hear me now, quote me later. Uber is not going public in 2019. So here goes. Look, we're not in a rush to go in public. No. I mean, we don't have to go public now. It's just billions and billions of dollars. I mean, who wants to go public, right? So he said that investors would be disappointed if there was no IPO, but the company would be just fine. And if I could tagline Uber, if there was a motto I could make for Uber, and maybe you guys are good with like internet stuff, like memes and stuff like that, I would say, Uber, investors will be disappointed, but the company will be just fine. Like, that is the definition of Uber. Well, that may be a little bit of sexism, but I could not describe it any better. We know they're not going public in 2018. It's 2019 now. That's what I meant, in 2019. In 2018, Lyft said they would, and then Uber was like, "Oh, we will," but they're not going to in 2019. Yeah, I was gonna say, is this an old article? No, this is 2019. But I love this sentence. CEO said, investors will be disappointed if there's no IPO, but the company will be just fine. I love it. Aaron, this is no BS. Every time you broadcast live, I pull over to the side and make sure I listen to your stream. Oh, thank you, Uber, man. I appreciate it. That's hearts for you, man. But I'm telling you, Uber's not going public in 2019. The comments appear to be softening of his position, obviously, because he said they were on track for 2019. There's some quotes in here. The only other thing I think is important is this paragraph down here. Uber could be valued at $120 billion this year. That's 60% higher than the recent valuation. First off, if you think Uber is worth $120 billion, you are fucking on drugs. You are snorting the cocaine, okay? There is no way Uber is worth $120 billion. They can't even make any money, which is number 2. We'll get to that second. Remember, SoftBank, which is an Asian bank company, bought a huge share into in Uber, and they evaluated the company 60 cents to the dollar. So Uber thinks, they said, we're worth this much money, and SoftBank was like, no, you're only worth 60% of that. So they think that they're gonna, no, it's a no-brainer. This is a different article. So there's that one. Okay. So I know you might be asking, well, Aaron, that seems interesting and all. That's only reason 1. They're not going in. So reason number 2, Uber can't make any damn money. Now, if you've been watching my channel at all, you know that I have been saying this since, what, 2 years? Uber can't make a profit. They just can't. They're incapable of making a profit, and not in a good way. And what do I mean about a good way to make a profit? Okay, so like Amazon almost never makes profit. They don't. Whenever Amazon makes a profit, they buy a new industry. Do you guys remember, like, Prime members didn't always get basically Netflix on Amazon. Right now, if you're a Prime member for Amazon, you get Amazon streaming service, which is basically like Netflix only on Amazon. Okay? They just took $5 billion and just started a TV company, basically, or a movie company, really. So what happened was Amazon was getting too profitable, and instead of making profit, they took that and they put it into the company. That's why Amazon doesn't make any money. Amazon doesn't post these big profits because they are constantly reinvesting and tweaking their company to be bigger, badder, because Amazon wants to be the monopoly of the world. Uber isn't making money, not because they're reinvesting. You think Uber's reinvesting in Uber? Is that why they're not making a profit? No, that's not what they're doing. Uber can't make money because the business model is flawed, okay? So Yes. Hold on. Let me catch some comments. This is Aaron. This is no. Okay, I understood that. They can, but they will have to raise their rates in a big way. Yeah, that's what I was going to talk about too. I think Uber rideshare is only worth $1. So the reason they can't make money is the business model is flawed. Okay, the vision of Uber was to get everybody off of public transportation, out of their own private cars, and into Uber. Okay, and then once they had everybody using Uber, they wanted to switch over to autonomous cars. That was the business model. The idea being, since Uber had such a big jump on everybody else, easy driver in the house, since they had such a big jump on them, they would basically be a monopoly. And for a while they were, up until about 2016, I would say Uber was easily a monopoly, but not anymore. Okay, so I want to show you something that's going to blow your mind here. This is by Motley Fool, which is a great blog if you guys are interested in learning about investing. So they wrote blah, blah, blah. Yeah, no, we're going to go public, blah, 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 blah. So first off, whatever we type in the room, there's a 3-minute delay on it. Yeah, I can't do anything about that. That's just how YouTube Live works. Because there's a delay for me to see it, and then there's a delay for me to respond to it. Net revenue is expected to reach $14.2 billion in 2019. And then watch this. Bam! This guy just stabs Uber in the back. Uber's is expected to reach $4.2 billion this year, which would double the company's revenue in 2017. Basically, what they're saying is that is a big damn lie. Uber is not going to make $14.2 billion in revenue. There's just no way they're going to double sales from last year. That's impossible. So doubling sales would be fantastic, but there is some indication that the revenue from the company's core ride-sharing business may be slowing. Now, there's two reasons for that. One is, Lyft and alternatives to that, and the other is that it's not really. I don't know how to say this. People are getting smarter. Customers are getting smarter, so they're not going to pay all the surge that they're paying. Add Sadler in the house, right? But anyway, if you look here, basically we've had peak Uber. Uber will never have a year as good as they had last year. Sales have been flat. There's not any large cities. Once you break into Atlanta, once you break into New York, once you break into Chicago, once you break into San Francisco, Seattle, Phoenix, like Austin, like Dallas. What are the other big cities we have? The big cities. Once you're in that marketplace, there's no more markets in the United States to break into. You're there. That's what it is. So, so Uber isn't going to make. Not only are they not going to double sales from that next year, they're going to have around the same. Frank M. the Tank in the house. Okay. And then check this out. I guarantee you they're going to lose more money than this, but this is what the company expects. This is what they're telling their investors they're going to lose. Uber's management believes its losses will slow. They ain't going to slow, guys. I'm telling you right now, they ain't going to slow. They only think they're going to lose $500 million this year. What? They lost almost $2 billion last quarter. Over 1/3 and maybe close to half of the company's losses stem from Uber's investments in bets outside of its core business, like freight, see, dumbass idea, an autonomous vehicle project. I'm telling you, they need to go autonomous to make a profit. So yeah, that's no. Guys, you can't lose $3 billion one year and the next year be like, we're only gonna lose $500 million this year. That's a lie. No more markets, but more adoption from riders? No, that's the thing, riders are, it's not that they need more riders. That's not what it is. It's that riders are getting smarter. So they're not going to pay for surge, especially when there's alternatives like Lyft and Tryp. Maybe. The company's in debt. I don't think anyone cares about that. They have cash on hand. So if they wanted to pay their debt off right now, they could. That's another thing. Look, I'm going to translate this from you. $2 billion could be saved annually if the company scaled back its marketing efforts. Do you know what that means? You know what that means? That's referral code money. That's what that means. That's incentive money. That's what that means. That's what that cutback means. Also, this is why Lyft is a better company than Uber. Because Lyft just goes into markets after Uber breaks into them. Uber's value. See, look, I'm telling you, Uber's valuation is 90 billion right now. That other guy was saying 120 is just crazy. I bet you it's even less than that. Crunchbase estimates it's actually closer to 70 million. See, I'm telling you that was too high. For comparison, Uber rival Lyft also is expected to go public and is currently valued at about 15 billion. Now remember, Lyft is just the United States and Canada, okay? Susan Monet in the house. So Uber is an international company, and actually they're screwing up everywhere for that, but it's probably best to wait. Yeah, because Uber's going to fail. That's why. Okay, so that's that. So Uber can't make money. Uber has had 2 quarters of profits in the past 5 years. Think about that. In 5 years, Uber's made money twice in a quarter. Timothy Wong in the house. They're losing drivers like crazy because they are not paying promo and surge. They're spending all their money on acquiring shit and stupid commercial billboards. Pay your workforce. Susan, oh my God, exactly. That was I have like a bonus, like a bonus at the end, and that was what it was gonna be. Is Uber doesn't value their drivers. They're losing veteran drivers. Where are veteran full-time drivers going? Lyft, and soon to a third option. So we'll get to that later, but if Tryp isn't it, it'll be something if it's not Juno or somebody else. I really like Lyft, so it's just that there will be an alternative to Uber at some point, and veteran drivers are just going to go there. It's how it's simply going to be. Okay. So it gets us out there. So reason 1 is they're not going to go public in 2018. That's a giant fail, right? Reason number 2 is they just can't make money. How much of a failure of a company do you have to be if you only have 2 quarters of profit in 5 years? That's crazy. They lost almost $2 billion in 3 months. Think about that, guys. There are 12 months in a year, and they almost lost $2 billion in 3 months. 90 days. Ugh. Ugh. That is so... Would you ever invest in a company if I came up to you and I was all, hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? Hey, you want to give me some money? Check this out. I lost $2 billion, almost $2 billion in 3 months, and I haven't made any profit. Just give me money. Tryp, man. Tryp the when the app goes what do they call it? Into beta mode, we'll know if it's gonna work or not. Right now, it's just Uber and Lyft, basically, unless you live in Austin. Austin has like 4 or 5 companies. But that's what we're about to talk about right now, Susan. I'm going to show you this. You guys, if you ever doubted me that Uber is going to fail, this is going to show you why, okay? It is unbelievable. PJ Slot says, create your own customer base and keep 100% of the fares. Yep, that's with Tryp, man. Right there. TrypRides.com. Sign up. TrypAaron.com. Links in the description. The employees are banking the money. They're paying the staff a ton. Write it all off. How else can you stay in business losing like this? Well, it's because they have Uber was going to be a monopoly. They were going to kill taxi cabs, kill public transportation, and get automated cars on the roads, which was going to create a super monopoly on transportation. But they just failed to implement the business plan. So everyone gave them all this money. I think they still have like $6 or $7 billion like in cash that they can just blow through. Can we take a quick poll? Type 1 for Uber, 2 for Lyft, and which one of these gets the most requests from? Obviously, you get the most from. We're gonna get that. You get the most from Uber. Yeah, Austin's cool. Yeah, we should have some kind of driver code that if a customer requests, you can service them, but that's just basically an idea. Uber hand down pays Lyft hands down, but Lyft pays more. Yes, that's true. Except in big cities, Uber has some pretty good bonuses there that Lyft can't compete with. But let's switch over here to this one. Okay, this is again from Motley Fool. I love these guys. Actually, PJ Slots, that's Uber DC, guys, for those of you who don't know. He's the one who introduced me to Motley Fool, so thank you for them. Yeah, you make more money, especially in tips. Nephew Jermaine in the house. Lyft app drops and locks, and I don't get paid. That might be your phone. I love Lyft. Lyft worked flawless for me in San Francisco, and you make more money because people tip more. I made I think I made like $110 in 2 days one weekend. That's awesome. But anyway, one big red flag for Uber as its IPO approaches. And like I said, quote me now, hear me now, quote me later. Uber is not going public in 2019. Amazon has lost money for years. That's not true. Okay, so Uber has already lost money for a longer period of time than Amazon did. And Amazon started as a used book sales club. The reason Amazon doesn't post profit the way most companies do, like Apple and stuff like that, is Amazon is reinvesting their money into their business. Like they'll just buy an industry. Like, oh, look at all this money we made. What should we do with it? I don't know. We'll just start a Netflix competitor. We don't have any content. We'll just put $5 billion into new content and just make a bunch of shows. One of them will be good. Amazon could be profitable right now if they stopped being the juggernaut they are, right? If they didn't want to be a monopoly in every industry. Anyway, this is the chart that I wanted to show you something. This is why Uber is fucked. So this starts in 2016. If this chart continued over all the way down here, there'd be almost no orange, right? Because Lyft doesn't have anything. But look, every year, Lyft is gaining more and more market share on Uber. So Uber still countrywide, nationwide, has 70% of the market, which is basically a monopoly. Like, not quite, right? Not quite. But every year, Lyft steals a little bit more, okay? And there's a couple reasons for that. The first reason is, in a city that doesn't have rideshare, I'll use Olympia, Washington as an example because I lived through this. I was the second driver in the entire city of Olympia in Washington. Okay, it was already in Seattle, but they needed to expand out. Uber came in. They made a bunch of advertisements, right? Billboards, flyers, you name it. Commercials on the internet, targeted ads is what they're called. And for the first weekend Uber launched in Olympia, Washington, every ride was free. The driver still got paid like it was a normal ride. But every time a driver or a rider got in the car, it was free the whole weekend. A one full weekend, 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, free rides. And so Uber paid all that money for advertising and all those for free rides, plus all the referrals, because I was getting driver referrals and customer referrals because it was brand new to Olympia, right? That's a lot of money for one small city. I don't even know what the population is. Let's look. Population of Olympia, Washington. Oh, of course, the internet's going to be slow today. 51,000 people in Olympia. Imagine how much money they spent when they break into a market like Atlanta or Dallas or Houston, right? Think about how much money they spent just to break into Portland if they spent all that money on 51,000 people in Olympia. So they blow all this money, and then what does Lyft do? Lyft walks in behind Uber. Once everyone uses their phone and they realize how great it is, Lyft just walks in behind them once they've established themselves and say, oh, hey, we're a little bit cheaper than Uber. You should take us. They don't have to pay out these massive bonuses. They don't pay for advertising. I mean, Lyft has upped their advertising game a little bit now with internet ads and some billboards at like airports and stuff, but they don't have anything kind of the same way that Uber does. And that's why if you look at this chart over here, Lyft, what I bet you in 2016, it would be they had less than 10% market share. But as time goes by, Lyft gets more and more because a customer doesn't care. If you're a customer, okay, if you buy shoes, you have a favorite shoe brand. You're like, I like Nike, I like Reebok, I like Adidas, I like Vans. Those are the kind of shoes that I buy. Sorry, ladies, I don't know nothing about female shoes. So if you don't wear athletic shoes, I don't know what brand you have. But you have a brand that you always buy, right? But when it comes to phone apps, customers are not brand loyal. And the ones that are, I find, are actually more like Lyft in general. But no one's like, oh, I only do Uber. What Uber does have that Lyft doesn't have is corporate accounts. So there's a lot more corporate business accounts with Uber than there is with Lyft. But the average customer doesn't care. They turn on their phone, they look at the price for Uber, they look at the price for Lyft, and then they take whatever's cheaper. There's no loyalty. You know, it's not Coke versus Pepsi. You know, you don't have a taste preference for one or the other. So as time goes by, and I guarantee you, this chart in 2019, this Lyft number here, the percentage is going to go up. I don't know what, you know, 35, 40% maybe, less than that, 29%, 31%, but it'll be a bigger chunk. The other problem is, and so I will say, I don't know if Tryp is going to be a good company or not. I don't know. We're going to see. The app is coming out soon. The beta test is coming, you know, here pretty soon, or at least they keep telling me that. If it's not Tryp, it's somebody, unless they get bought out. But there's enough room in this market now for a third and fourth player, right? Think about any industry that you can think of. There's a big boy, right? And then there's the second place, and then there's like usually 3 or 4 companies that tail off that. Every industry has enough market share to have a couple of companies. So we're going to see a lot of new companies starting up here that are they're going to try to get that market share. I think the biggest problem that new rideshare companies had is they launched too soon, meaning that Uber was was so dominant they had no chance of competing because people were just kind of figuring out what it was. It wasn't everywhere at once. People weren't comfortable getting into strangers' cars. Now, however, people don't care. So people are used to it. Everyone is turning 18. They probably won't even own a car until they get married and have kids. They're only going to take rideshare. I want to be the second best driver in the next great company. I'm over with Uber. They have cut my pay in half in 1 year. Susan, dude, I don't even know how to tell you this, man, but like 4 years ago, it's $2.50 a mile. No, it's not. Susan, go in the description and then sign up for Tryp. Tryp, it's free. You don't have to commit to anything, and they're gonna have a beta test on their app soon. And you know, it might come to your town, it might not. So we'll see. It's gonna be a slower rollout, which I think is overall good. But that's a good alternative. But just give Lyft another shot, man. I really do like Lyft a lot, even though it doesn't have as much sales as. The other problem, and this is something no one is talking about, is there are rideshare companies in other countries that are really successful. So China has like 3 or 4. Russia has already launched in the U.S. I forget the Russian company, but it's already in the U.S. Let's see if I can get it real quick on a quick Google search here. Yeah. So the InDriver. So this is a Russian company. They're crushing it in Russia. They came to the United States, right? So think about all the big companies. There could be a European rideshare company, a Mexican rideshare company, a Chinese rideshare company, even a Brazilian rideshare company that is looking to come to the United States to expand. So if that happens, there's a chance that the market they could instantly get like 5 to 10% of the market just for launching here. I have considered Tryp, except that I have been absolutely bombarded by the reps. Like literally gotten 10 emails and 6 Facebook messages, and it's annoying as fuck. Yes. Okay, the Munchkin. So I'm gonna stop talking about Uber right now. Let's talk about why Tryp is so annoying right now. Okay, Tryp basically doesn't exist yet. Like so much hype for something that doesn't exist is crazy. They don't have an app yet. The techs are still working on it. When they release the app for beta testing, it's only going to be in 4 places. Okay, Ohio, New Mexico, Arizona, and what did I say last time? And one more I forgot. I said it earlier on the stream. Then they're going to launch it in nationwide in specific cities. But if you make money on referral codes, because like referral codes made millionaires for Uber referrals, right? If you got in Uber at the ground floor and you just pushed referral, you didn't even have to drive once, and you could have made, $100,000 in a year, right? So all these people remember the referrals from Uber and Lyft, and they're trying to do that with Tryp right now. So these Tryp reps are just simply, like I could be a Tryp rep. It's just someone who has a referral code, and they're trying to push as many referrals as they can, because once the app comes out and people start using the app, they want their referral money. It's like, no, it's Tryp Ride, like this. Oops, I meant to say .com. It's in the description down below if you want to click on the website. So all these third-party people who are not affiliated with Tryp in any way, like Tryp doesn't have an official advertising video yet. People are just making Tryp videos because they want to refer people to. Because here's the thing, you're not getting there's no payouts right now. You're not getting paid for any referrals because there's no app. Once the app drops and you have a backload of all those referrals, it's just going to be one giant paycheck. So people are pushing Tryp so hard right now. It is super annoying. I can totally agree with you on that. Let's look at my stream. You guys want to see what it looks like? Well, I won't do the stream that way. I'll just do it this way. I won't log in. Let me get that, oops, right there. Let me get the referral code here for you. Is it not in? Oh yeah, here it is. What? It seems a lot longer than it should have been. Well, it's in the description then. Peace, brother. See you later, PJ Slots. Get ready for some more slow. I live near Hollywood in downtown LA. Well, LA is definitely on the list of where they want to go right away. Driver Dustin. It'll probably be the same. I hear you there, man. I feel you there. Okay, so let's get out of here. And let's go to the third reason. You know, I might edit this video and take out all the fluff from you guys and just release the actual list to make it more compatible. Number 4. Oh, this is really important, guys. This is the fourth reason Uber is going to fail. They've lost the autonomous race. And I'm not just talking to the United States. The United States might lose out. It looks like China's going to win even before Japan, the autonomous race. Referral codes are the bomb. Yeah, it's just so annoying and illogical. Don't they realize that if they make a video about Tryp, they'll only get one referral, me, and I'll get a bunch of referrals if I'm not the one to target? Yeah, I feel you there. Look, man, the people who are pushing referral codes right now, I guarantee you they're not drivers. They're just people who realize how powerful referrals are. And they just made a shit ton of money on Uber referrals, and they're like, hey, I don't care if this company sinks or swims, but I want to make money off referrals. No, dude, I'll have to check that out. Getting sucker punched, that's terrible. Rideshare Dustin in the house. I thought I said that already. I'm sorry if I didn't. Yeah, that's fine. Sign up. That's what I'm saying, man. Just sign up. It's free. Don't pay any money for anything, and then just wait, man. It doesn't cost you anything. And if you're following me on, then I'll let you know if it's real or not. Their beta test is in Ohio, so I'll be driving for Tryp before anyone else in the country will be. Oh, well, among the first, right? So I'm going to do live streams of Tryp in my car, and we'll see how it goes. Rideshare Dustin, that's what I agree. Well, Rideshare Dustin, just sign up, man. It's free. just use my code. You don't pay any money, and there's no referral. I can't make referral money right now. Just sign up. That way you have your code, and you're already in there. Yeah, dude. The Munchkin is the lady or the man. I don't know what she prefers to be called. She's the entity. I like her a lot. So let's get back on track here. You guys are always distracting me. Like the worst. No, you guys are the best, but you make my live streams take so long because I'm always talking to you. I don't think I've ever seen a live chat for this long, so that's good. Anyway, China's Waymo rival quietly launched an Uber-style app for driverless cars, making one of the first to do so. So there are driverless taxi cabs in Japan, but very limited and only in specific cities. So it's kind of like Waymo. You're like the boss? All right. That's a little dirty, isn't it? She's the boss. You know, I don't know about that. I don't want to be called the boss. It's like someone calling me daddy. Don't call me daddy. That's weird. Yeah, no kidding. Always something new, right? So I don't know how to pronounce this company. So when I butcher this, don't make fun of me. Don't at me on Twitter, guys. Panay, maybe it's Panyai. I don't know what that dot means and why it's there. It's a driverless car startup, and it just launched in China. It's only one city. Okay, well that's fine. If you don't think you don't think there's any connotation there, then that's fine. You do you, girl. You do you, girl. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, so it's just like Waymo, only in China, meaning that it's only going to be in one city. Where is it at here? I read this article earlier. It was up here somewhere. Oh, here we go. So in one city, they're doing driverless cars, right? So they're so far ahead. Uber can't even. Guys, when Uber ran over that dude or the girl, I think it was a girl, the bicyclist in Arizona, do you realize that they had not driven 1 mile without assistance on average, right? So they couldn't get their driverless cars to drive 1 mile on autonomous only without having a human like take the wheel and correct it. And in China, they already have this is now the third company I've heard of that's doing it. Waymo's doing it in Arizona. In Japan, they're doing driverless taxis. In fact, they were doing driverless taxis way back when the Olympics were there. And now China's doing it. That is 3 rideshare companies that have beat Uber to the driverless market, and we're done. We're done. Like Uber is, by the time they get into the driverless taxi world, they will be so far behind that it will be meaningless. So the end of Uber has already started, and it started in China and in Arizona. Okay. It was a woman, but she was walking and walked right into the road. Yeah, I saw that. Let me know and I'll go for a few days. I don't know what we're talking about now. Oh, you going to Ohio? I live in Ohio now, Susan. I moved from San Francisco to Mason, Ohio. Not because of Tryp, because my wife is going to school here. And so I have a fun story for that too, so we can lighten it up the mood a little bit. Because I'm sure you guys have seen this. Other YouTubers have talked about it too, so I'm not the first to break this, but I just think it's hilarious. So, Waymo's autonomous Pacificas are under attack, literally. And they mean that in the right context. They're stopping in front of Waymo cars to try to get rear-ended. They're cutting their tires. They're throwing rocks. One guy even stood. Oh, I think that's an example is in here. Maybe not. One person stood in front of the van and just wouldn't move. He was just like this. And then they had to manually reverse the van and go on a different road. Like he wouldn't get out of the road. They even arrested a guy who was trying to shoot him with a pistol. China's not going to impact here. That's not true. If China has a successful autonomous run and they launch an app here where you can get in autonomous cars before Waymo, Uber, or Lyft, or any of these other companies do, they'll 100% grab the market because it's so cheap to run autonomous cars. It's so cheap that they'll kill it here. Aaron, I got a load going to Ohio. Maybe one day I should stop by and we can grab some lunch, man. Yeah, man. Let's get a sandwich and some beer, or some chips or something. That'd be awesome. You missed my first comment. Oh. Jacob Kelly in the house. Yes, Jacob. Email me, man. I'm here. We should hang out. And you should sign up for Tryp because, well, I mean, I don't want to tell you how to live your life. I know you're doing really well with Uber because you got that secret spot. But they're beta testing Tryp here in Ohio, so you should sign up and try to get some of that money for at least for the initial wave here. I said it won't pack unless they start it here. Oh, Uber can still get ahead here. No, Uber's autonomous car project is a joke. It's a joke. So Tesla is better than they are. GM is better than they are. Toyota is better than they are. In fact, Uber just paid $500 billion to Toyota to try to get help with their autonomous thing. Uber is not getting it to market first. In fact, they haven't. Waymo's already operating in Arizona on 100% autonomous. Now, they still have drivers in there, but the cars and the software and the technology are operating autonomous here. Why are you promoting Tryp, a company with no app, no drivers, no riders, no TNC license, no insurance? They don't even plan on being in your market. Okay, so one, they do have an app, but they're still working on it. They're beta testing it in Ohio. So do you think of Cincinnati's rates? I hate the rates here. I don't know how you guys make any money. Oh, okay, lol, not going to, oh, just drive, lol, yeah. Here's the thing. I have seen the back end of Tryp. I'll do maybe another video on it after this, and I think that it's legitimate. So it looks, M Silver in the house. Yeah, the new Ford Expedition, awesome. They recruited for 6 weeks. Tryp did. Well, screw all those people. The reason they're recruiting you is because you're like the best driver in Ohio. That's why. You're like the #1 driver here. So of course they want you. No, they don't. But here's the thing. Here's the thing, Jacob. This is why you should sign up. Because they're beta testing it here and there's not a lot of competition. If you sign up a passenger, like forget driver referrals. Driver referrals are not going to be good on Tryp. They're not going to be like Uber and Lyft where they just pay you cash. The real money with Tryp is passenger referrals because they're trying to snipe passengers, right? You get 40 cents out of every technology fee. So you know how like Airbnb, Uber, Lyft, all these companies, they have, some call it like a technology fee, some call it a booking fee, but it's just like it's like $2 off the top, right? Oh, you have a group of 1,500 riders. I'm an admin. Oh, okay, cool. What do you mean back end? I've seen this. I've seen some of the software. I'm trying to get someone from marketing or someone from the app development on the on the channel so we can talk to them about it. So anyway, they don't surge, but you get 40 cents per ride when you recruit a passenger, and you get that out of the technology fee. Uber's not done. No. Uber is a monster. They have 70% of the market. They're not done, but they're going to fail this year. I see someone named Uberman. Is that the original Uberman known as Junker Man? No, he's the new guy. Yeah, I get you. That's not. Then don't do Tryp during surge times. It's not like it surges all the time. I've been looking at my app. There's not consistent surge. So just turn the app off when it's bar time. I mean, I don't. Dude, you do like almost 150 rides a week. You can do maybe 100 rides and then 50 on something else like Uber and Lyft, and it's not going to affect you. Anyway, you guys always get me distracted. I'm talking about why Uber's going to fail. No, Cleveland surges, but not all the time. It doesn't surge all the time. You can't tell me that out of 24 hours, 20 hours is surging there. It's not a thing. Now, someone from Tryp, instead of random drivers, reached out to me. I'd be more interested and would consider a video about it. But it's just too unknown for me now. No, that's true. It is unknown. Like, I've only seen screenshots, so I haven't seen the app working. And then I have access to the back end, which will be like, you know, like when you log into Uber and you can do all your driver and stuff like that. Like your back end of the uber.com when you log in. I've seen that. But we don't know what the app's going to look like. We don't know how the app is going to work. There are rumors about rates, but we know what the rates are going to be. So right now we don't know anything. And that's why I think people are getting way too ahead of themselves. They're getting way, way too excited about Tryp. But, you know, maybe the hype is real, maybe it's not. Let's wait till the app comes out and is beta tested. The cool thing about me is I'm in Ohio, so Tryp is going to be in Ohio. And I'm going to drive down to Cincinnati, where most of the college kids are. And I'm going to do live streams of Tryp. And we'll see together if it's BS or not. Now, if I go down there and it's a giant failure and I just threw away my money doing this, we'll see, man. Well, I don't know what Tryp is going to do, but I almost guarantee you when Tryp... I'm not going to talk about this. We'll talk about Tryp at a different video. That's all my subscribers want to talk about is Tryp. Let me finish this video. I'm 5 away. We're almost done. And then we can talk about Tryp as long as you want to. I just want to get this out. The last thing, the reason Uber... Reason number 5 that Uber is going to fail is because Uber has what I call a loser culture. And I think culture is, to the layman, very important. Like if I was to ask you, like any company, what's the culture around Coca-Cola? What's the culture around Southwest Airlines? You know, who has the best culture? And Amazon. I think the everyday consumer doesn't really care about it, but to people in the business community, investors, Wall Street people, you know, executives and stuff like that, culture is the most talked about thing and the most important thing. That's why they pay their CEO so much. Vinny Cuz in the house. Well, I'm on number 5 right now, Vinny, so you can rewatch the rest of them. That's why they pay their CEO so much. That's why they have such an emphasis on the heads of departments and boards and stuff like that. Actual companies and investors care almost more about culture than they do profit. Okay, so the average everyday person, you don't care what kind of a leader Travis Kalanick is. You don't care, you know, what Jeff Bezos is doing in Amazon, right? I took a 130-mile round trip in Uber the other day. Yeah, dude, I love when you get into those emails or text messages about those crazy rides you give. Anyway, I digress. So, Tryp is a new rideshare company. In the description, I have a link. I'll just do that now. I'm trying to talk about something. You guys keep distracting me. Like, when I say it's a new rideshare company, I mean straight new. As in, like, literally doesn't have an app yet. They're working on their app now. So, copy link address. Here. There's the link address I have. That's signing up is free. They don't have an app. They're not paying any referral bonuses right now. You like literally just enter your email and like whatever other logins information you need, blah, 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 blah. And you just get a placeholder for when they decide to release the app. So just put it on the back end. Okay, I'll do a video of Uber Freight. How much is Tryp paying to promote it? I'll promote it at the right price. I'm not getting paid anything. I'm not getting paid referral, nothing. It's a fetus. It's like a little baby app. It's an idea. I'll say this. Tryp is an idea. It's an idea of a potential business model that'll help drivers with an Uber alternative. It's definitely in its infancy. We don't know anything about it, but you know, if you sign up, then you'll already have your spot there, and when the app launches, you know, you'll get notified and you can check it out. We haven't even beta tested it yet. $249 for a background check. Terry Tips in the house. This is what's up, Terry. I'm on number 5. I'm not gonna let the chat distract me. I'm gonna get to number 5 right now. So, the biggest problem that Uber had was from the top down with Travis Kalanick before Dara Khosrowshahi, I don't know how to say his name, Dara K came out, right? This is something that a lot of new companies, especially new tech companies, suffer from. It was basically all rich, privileged white men running an aggressive company that was new with the technology that no one else had that they wanted to disrupt the country. Patrick Sargent in the house. Adam Blackletter in the house. Yes, Uber is messing around with that. It's called, I'm not letting you guys distract me now. Okay? So it was so bad. Okay, guys, I want to tell you, like, I know that not all of you have been with me the whole time. I have new subscribers. I'm very happy for that. My favorite video that I have ever done was on the cocaine hooker parties that Travis Kalanick had in South Korea. Literally, I'm not talking about an exaggeration. They went to a place where there were, like, it wasn't a strip club necessarily, but it was where there were tons of Korean hookers, and had a business meeting in South Carolina. And witnesses there were saying that people were doing cocaine on business money. And he brought his girlfriend, because that's how classy Travis Kalanick is. When you're on a hooker cocaine business meeting in South Korea, make sure you bring your girlfriend. That's how bad the culture was, right? So they had to fire him. Thank you, Jacob. I really appreciate it. James Worley in the house. That's already started. So they fired him, right? They ousted him. And actually what happened was two investors basically sat down with him in a private hotel and was like, dude, you got to step down. And they were venture capitalists. So we're talking about the people who really put money behind that. And once you've made an enemy of venture capitalists, you're done. South Korea. But yeah, that's an old video. It's like 2.5 years old. So I mean, it's got like maybe like 100 views on it. No one watched my channel back then. Anyway, and he got fired, and they hired a new CEO. The problem is the rest of the command structure surrounding the CEO is still a bunch of crappy people who are they're just crappy. Yeah, it would be nice. It would be nice to make $250,000 a year and then get to go to. Well, we don't know if they bought any hookers. They just happened to be in a bar where there were hookers. So I mean, I don't know. And it was unverified that they did cocaine. That's just what one of the other people who were there said was going on. Just rumors, if you will. Anyway, so what does that mean? That means even though the CEO is gone and they're trying to go in a different direction, the culture there is the same. And how do I know the culture there is the same? Because Uber still is firing veteran drivers for no reason. Uber doesn't want drivers that know what they're doing. They want new drivers who don't know what they're doing so they can take advantage of them. They're doing shady stuff still. And actually, I will go over here now. This is a really long article because Vanity Fair goes into like great detail and stuff like that. But what they're saying is they're incompetent and all kinds. I mean, this article is pretty devastating. Where's I trying to get? So yeah, this is what I want to talk about. Employees are telling the New York Times they worry Uber is taking shortcuts to hit its aggressive metrics for success. Bad culture takes shortcuts to get to a goalpost when they don't deserve it. That's why Uber killed somebody with their autonomous vehicles. Remember, and never forget this, the head of that department told Uber, our cars are not ready. They're going to kill somebody. 3 weeks later, their cars killed somebody. I just want you to remember that. That's the culture that Uber has. It's win at all costs. Okay? And that's the fifth reason Uber's going to lose. Lyft is not that way. Okay? Lyft is a very smart company. They think with their heads about how to do things the correct way. And that's why they follow Uber into markets. Let Uber spend all the money on a new market and they come in at the end. Okay? Uber's culture is gonna kill them. It already has killed them. And that's the 5 reasons. I'll recap. Because that's the let me get over here to the main screen. And that's the 5 reasons Uber is gonna fail this year. 1, they're not gonna go public in 2019. They can't make any money. They have too much competition. They've lost the autonomous race, and they have bad, disgusting culture. Bam! I did it, guys. And all the links to all the articles are in the description below, as is my Tryp thing. So let me get back over here, and let's answer some questions in the chat, guys. I bought Livery Insurance yesterday. That's cool. I'll have to check that out. I just watched it a few days ago. Vinny says exactly. James Worley says, search for this story from yesterday. Fox 5 News police are searching for passengers who attacked a Las Vegas Uber driver. Watch this dash cam footage. I'll check that out, man. That's crazy. I'm not really surprised. Like those kind of stories pop up all the time because customers are terrible. In California, Lyft was huge. In Ohio, 98% Uber, 2% Lyft. Yeah, in California, it's about 50-50. And as rideshare becomes more established and used more frequently, that's how it's going to be probably everywhere. Lyft is just going to continue to snipe customers over and over again. Artie Lang Belushi, interesting. Which is why I think Tryp is going about their customer referral ideas in the right way. I believe tries to mean Tryp will hurt Uber, Lyft, and Uber. Maybe. Because the emphasis for Tryp isn't on drivers. The emphasis on Tryp, where the real money is recruiting customers. So Tryp has incentivized you as a driver to tell your customers to use Tryp. Because remember, every time a customer that you've referred to the platform takes a takes a ride, Tryp gives you 40% of their booking fee. So it's $1.90 right now for a customer to book a trip with Tryp. That's funny. It's competitive with Uber. Uber and Lyft both have booking and technology fees too. In fact, Uber Black is crazy. It's like $6 or $7, right? So if you refer a customer to Tryp, you get 40 cents out of that technology fee. So I think that's a really good strategy. Furthermore, unlike Uber and Lyft, as a customer, you can save in your profile preferred drivers. So if you can, like right now, the only way to get a repeat customer on Uber is to get somebody's phone number, have them text you, go pick them up, and you either take cash, which you really shouldn't do in a lot of states where you don't have your own insurance, or you sit there on the app and you keep hitting request, cancel, request, cancel, request, cancel, request, cancel, until you get matched with that person, right? Well, Tryp, you can passengers can save preferred drivers and request you directly through the app. So that's good for two reasons. One, you can actually, like, unlike Uber, where you're not really a business owner, you're in charge of an actual business where you can have return customers, right? And every time that person refers you get an additional 40 cents on the booking fee. So it's a win-win there. Lyft doesn't market in Ohio, but they just opened a Lyft hub. Yeah, because Lyft doesn't want to get there first or the fastest. Lyft wants to do it right, which is why I like the company Lyft more. The person who died, it was totally not preventable. The video showed how unavoidable it was. I think for a human it was unavoidable, but I think a machine, I think like a Tesla wouldn't have hit them. I'm pretty sure that a Waymo wouldn't have hit them. So what they found out is there were some safety features in the car that were disabled that probably would have prevented from that. It has to do, I've had a video on this too, if you want to go back to my library. I have no idea what I even titled it. But LiDAR can prevent stuff like that from happening. LiDAR is like a radar system for the cars with lasers. Dun, 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 dun. Yep, Uber is messing with the drivers, and I refuse to drive anymore. I'm driving Super Bowl Sunday because it is high demand, but not counting on the surge or promo anymore. You only made $50 an hour on New Year's. Guys, the first New Year's, I think I made like $210 an hour. I had one ride, I think that was almost $300. New Year's, $50 an hour, that's sad. Well, I mean, it's better than nothing, I guess. Okay, Aaron, I got to hit the road. Have a good day. See you later, Uber man. Vinny says, Uber grew too fast trying to take over the world. Well, they almost did. They almost did. That's the problem with capitalism, though, is it's hard to get a monopoly. That's why Amazon's so amazing. You're turning into Belushi. Belushi. Oh, that's an actor, right? Steve Belushi, something like that. That's an old guy. He used to. Look that up real quick. John Belushi, right? Yeah. That's funny. Or Artie Lang. Nothing comes good from companies going public. Adam Blackletter. Oh, Adam Blackletter in the house. What's up, Adam? That's not true in this case. One of the reasons Uber isn't going to go public is because they're not charging enough for rates. I think rates are going to go up when companies go public. And because the reason for that is right now, 25 cents to 40 cents, depending on the city, of an Uber ride is subsidized by investor money. Meaning to be profitable on a ride, on average, Uber has to charge 25% more. And once they open their books to the public, which is what they do going upon, the shareholders are going to demand Uber increases their rates to make the rides profitable. Because a shareholder doesn't care anything about except for making money, right? That's what they want. They want them dividends and they want the stock to go up. They want them stock splits from growing and stuff like that. So this is why Uber is not going public in 2019 also, by the way, in my opinion, is the bank is going to look at this sheet. They're going to be like, let me see here. Oh, no. And so until Uber can make rides profitable, they're not going to go public, which means they're going to have to raise the rates. The reason the rates are so low right now and why they're just killing drivers with these low rates, every year they lower the rates more and more, is because they're trying to kill the taxi industry, they're trying to kill public transportation, and they're trying to kill all these other companies that are popping up too. That's why it's hard right now to start a rideshare company, at least nationally. It's pretty easy to start a rideshare company like in one city, but nationally it's really hard because you have to come out the gate losing money. You can't operate a profitable business on the current rates that Uber is charging. That's also why Uber loses like $1 billion every quarter. So I think by Uber going public, it'll help drivers because they'll be forced to make their at least be neutral, right? Or they're going to have to do some alternative like advertising in the app or something like that to make up the revenue. So either they'll raise the rates or they'll give advertising in the app. And once they do advertising in the app, people are going to be like, what's this on my phone? I'm just going to go to Lyft. I don't want to do this. So I think they're going to have to raise rates. I believe that Tryp will hurt Uber. They might. I think that in any market, this is why I like capitalism. Okay? Any market improves by having competition. It improves for the customer and it improves for the employees. So the more rideshare apps there are, the better it is for you and the better it would be for a passenger. Because you can't get away with as much. When there's only one, the reason Uber can treat customers like crap and just shit on drivers all over the place is because in a lot of cities, Uber's the only rideshare app. They have 70% of the market, so they don't care about you. What happens at Uber if Lyft gets 40%, another company, whatever, Sidecar, I forgot the Chinese one we were just talking about, Tryp, Juno, any of these companies, they come and they take 10% of the market share. 4 companies take 5% each. Now 20% of the market share is gone. Suddenly Uber has to start treating people better. They're going to miss those drivers that they fired. That only happens with competition. So I think Tryp will only help everybody if it succeeds. You need my personal number. Yeah, hey, email me here and I'll send you my number. I think you have it. I remember getting text messages from you. But yeah, Jacob, email me. I'll send you my number. We can talk. Yep, they're firing veteran drivers. They only want new drivers who are clueless. I'm an HR manager, and we are not really contract workers. We are employees. The government is going to crack down. Susan, a driver after my own heart. Where have you been for 2 years? I've been talking about how we're not employees. We're not contractors. You think you're a contractor? Let me ask you a question. Let me just stop the stream right now. I know I got a lot of comments to get to. You think you're a contractor? Okay, let me ask you a question. When does your contract expire? I'm sorry, my speakers were really low. Can you say that again? Oh, your contract doesn't expire? Oh, let me ask you a question a different way. When do you get to negotiate your rates with Uber? All I'm hearing is these crickets everywhere, man. What's going on? Oh, because you don't have a contract, you have a user agreement, and you can't negotiate your compensation. You're not a contractor. We're done with this conversation. I'm tired of, well, I get a 1099, so I'm a contractor. No. Go to Uber. Tell Uber you're an exceptional driver. I've been doing this 3 years. I don't want to drive for these rates. I want to drive for $2.50 and see what Uber tells you. See what Uber tells you. Go ahead and negotiate a contract with Uber. Can you change your contract with Uber? Can you go into the user agreement and then type some buttons on your phone and change the user agreement? No, but Uber has a right to change the user agreement with you at any time. Why? Because you don't have a contract. You don't have a contract. You have a user agreement. We're done. You're an employee. You're not a contractor. We're done with that. That's another reason why I like Tryp, by the way. And Tryp doesn't handle any of the customer money. You do. You get your own merchant account. You process the payments. The payments go from your merchant account to your personal bank account. And separate from that, you pay a monthly fee to Tryp. That's how you contract personally. Also, here's another thing. How can you be a contractor if you can't get referring business? You can't get repeat customers. You can't do it. It's against the rules for Uber and Lyft, by the way, for you to privately get rides from customers to get repeat business. The passengers were 2 minors. I must have missed that. Was that another quote from up here? I'm sorry, buddy. What was that? Oh, 2 minors. Yeah, it's always kids hurting the drivers. Yeah, I mean, I think it was last year where that chick in Texas, like some 16-year-old chick stabbed that Uber driver to death. So where were we? Oh man, you guys are talking a lot in the chat. I'm not gonna be able to catch up. Uber has refused to disclose passenger account information. That's another problem. Oh yeah, that's terrible. What you have to do is you have to go to the police department. You have to file a police report to open a case and have someone in the government specifically request that information. And that the way you do that is different in every municipality. So every city, state is different. But that's how you get the information. They have to subpoena it because Uber hates its drivers. If a PAX can really choose their driver, it will be happier PAX and drivers will make more. Well, okay, here's why Uber doesn't like that idea and why it'll both help and hurt. So good drivers will always be busy, just like in a real business. If you really own your business and every driver has their own business, what's going to naturally happen in any marketplace? There are going to be people who make money and people who don't, and people will fail. So good drivers who get repeat business will always be busy. But there's a lot of drivers who are going to fail out because they're bad drivers. They don't clean their car. They don't take showers. They're rude. They just turn on heavy metal in the car and then just tell the customer to shut their mouth and get to their destination, right? Those guys will fail out. That creates an inefficient marketplace for Uber because Uber wants to, wherever you are they want you to push the button and an Uber driver is just waiting for you on the corner. So there's no wait time, right? And as drivers who are bad drivers fail out, then there's less drivers. So you're busier as an individual driver, but it's inefficient for the customer. That's why Uber doesn't want to do that. Because once one driver has a big enough customer base, he's just going to continue to take those customers over and over again. I mean, you can only take 3, maybe 4 rides an hour on average. Unless you're Jacob Kelly, then you can take 6 or 7 an hour because you're the man. So that's why Uber doesn't like that. But as a business owner, if you actually are a business owner, not only do you need repeat business, that's the only way to be profitable. You need well, I guess that's the same thing as need. I don't know why I said it that way. Then what do we have next here? Lyft cut out all incentives in Ohio. Oh, yeah. Well, expect Lyft to do more of that in the rest of the country too, because they're going public. So they're going to have to pay less or charge more so they can make profit going public here. This is how you will tell when Lyft goes public. If Q1 of 2019 is profitable for Lyft, they're going to go public in Q2. If it's not, then we're going to wait to see if they're profitable in Q2. Lyft will go public once they've had a profitable quarter. And in order to do a profitable quarter, they either need to raise rates or pay drivers less. It's just as simple as that. Because they don't have a big marketing budget. They're not an international company. They could stop buying stupid scooters. That might help. In Ohio, Lyft ended power driver bonuses, power zones, weekly ride challenge, long pickup fees. This is while lowering the rates. Yeah, that sucks. That's 5 months ago. And Lyft basically ended primetime too. That's nationwide. I think surge in primetime is a way of the past. It's just not going to happen anymore. Wait, the people you refer, you get money from their referrals too? That's a pyramid scheme. What are we talking about? Oh, Tryp. That's a Tryp. So we're talking about passengers? No, you don't get money from people's refer. Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how it works. It might work that way. What I'm talking about is customers. If you refer a customer, okay, so let's say a customer signs up for Lyft, okay, and they don't use a referral code. They just sign up. They pay $1.90 in a technology fee. They do that with Uber and Lyft and any other company, Airbnb. I mean, even if you buy concert tickets or movie tickets, there's always some sort of technology fee. They call it a booking fee sometimes. Whatever they call it, it's usually a couple of bucks, and it's just to help cover the credit card processing payment and honestly to make a little extra profit on the top. What Tryp is saying, if you refer a customer, they will give you a small portion of that booking fee every time the driver drives. Okay, so it's $1.90 right now for the technology fee. If you refer a customer and they use your referral code, when that customer pays the technology fee to Tryp, Nate's awake. When they pay that money to Tryp, they'll give you 40 cents of that technology fee. So you give 40 cents and then Tryp will take $1.50, which is incredibly higher than Uber. How much of the Uber's booking fee goes to the driver? $0. And by the way, last year, Uber raised the booking fee 4 times last year, and the driver didn't see a cent increase. So what I'm worried about with the pyramid scheme, because there's in the back of my mind, I am worried about Tryp being a pyramid scheme. It'll be with driver referrals. So what we'll see is if the only way to make money with Tryp is through referrals, then it's a pyramid scheme. Meaning that like the app comes out and it's like 25 cents a mile to drive, so you can't make a profit while you're driving, and the only way to make a profit is for referrals. Then I think it would be a pyramid scheme. But we'll see. But the passenger side, I think that's pretty legit. I don't know why Uber doesn't split the booking fee with you. It's bullshit that they don't. Pre-scheduled rides lose money to log out and travel for free. A Tryp rider in money loss, unless it's a $50 ride. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see how it works. Jacob, that confirms what I've been saying. Lyft is no better than Uber as far as how they treat drivers. Cutting out incentives is totally rude. Yeah, I agree. Man, Susan, man, we need to hang out on the live streams more often. Adam says, Lyft had a weekly guarantees in Indiana last week. They were impossible to reach. I've never seen so many Lyft drivers come out of the closet. I got 2 Lyft rides in 10 hours. Yeah. Well, you know, I drove in Portland, Washington, and San Francisco. And Lyft is about 50-50 in all 3 of those cities. So if in 10 hours you got 25 rides with Uber, you get 25 rides with Lyft. You know, it's not. I know that's not everywhere, but we'll see how it goes from here. You not know the Blues Brothers? I do know the Blues Brothers. I just didn't know the names of the actors. I'm not good with that kind of stuff. Like, I don't know any actors. I don't know who they're married to. I don't know what movies they were in. I always fail movie trivia. You went to the Lyft Hub just to complain? What they say. Oh man, I want to know what they said to you. They did not put the correct systems into place to keep up with scaling. Now we have this mess. What are we talking about? Oh, Lyft probably? Maybe. Rates will go up, but only if they pay investors, not the driver. Well, they're doing that now, Adam. It's called upfront pricing. You know what upfront pricing is, right? Upfront pricing, Uber charges a customer any amount of money they want to. but they pay you a base rate, and you don't get anything. So if a ride, so let's just make the math easy. It's $1 a mile, and you're going 10 miles. The old school way before upfront pricing, Uber took $2.50 from that $10, and the driver got $7.50. It's not how it works anymore. With upfront pricing, that 10-mile ride at $1 a mile, Uber can charge the customer anything they want to. They call it upfront pricing. So they'll charge that 10-mile trip at $13 or $14. So do you think that you're getting extra money? No. You still get paid the $7.50 from the original deal. All that extra money they put in their pocket. That's why Surge has gone down so much on Uber. It's not that Surge has gone down. It's that they're charging Surge rates, but they're keeping the money because they're not calling it Surge. So that's upfront pricing. So they're already doing that, Adam. They're already paying themselves and their investors money and putting that in their pocket, and the drivers aren't getting it. Gerald in the house. I'm back with Uber. My passenger is in the back and we stuck on the bridge. Oh man, that sucks, buddy. Vinny says, successful drivers should be rewarded, not betrayed or deactivated. Goes back to culture. Yeah, exactly. You should want to keep your good drivers. In the Cleveland market, I average $200 to $300 a day on X. Same rates as in Cincinnati. Cool. That's good, man. So, does that include the weekends, or is that Monday through Friday? So, I mean, that's $1,200 if you're working 6 days a week. Surge and tip equals money. Yep. They lose money, but write all that shit off. Yep. Taxis have died. REP. It will help. Yes. Right now, you guys, you should take a taxi just for nostalgia's sake, just so you remember doing it one day, because they're done. Do you need a fingerprint check to get an Uber in your market? No. In California, they should do fingerprinting, though. And the reason for that is you can pick up minors in California if you're fingerprinted. So all this drama with picking up minors, they could just fix that shit right now if they just fingerprint people in California. I don't know why they don't. Well, because they don't like the drivers. They want drivers to take the risk of picking up minors without getting, without taking care of them. In most markets, since drivers are part-time, they wouldn't pay Tryp $250 to sign up and $100 a month. Added the fact that most drivers quit soon. Yeah, Tryp is not for new drivers or part-time drivers. That's true. But full-time drivers, that's a good deal. $200 a month. Okay, yeah. So first off, Uber's making more than 25% on your rides, but so 200. Let's do the math here. $200 a day. Let's say what you work 6 days, take Sunday off. That's $1,200. What's 25% of $200 or $1,200? That's $300 right there. So with Tryp, it's an extra $100 in your pocket. So, but yeah, part-time drivers don't want to Tryp. If you're a part-time driver, stay away from Tryp. You won't want to do it. Yep, Adam, this is what I'm saying. The government is going to crack down, and they're losing so much money on unpaid employment taxes. We are employees with no rights, making less than minimum wage. Well, I don't think we're making less than minimum wage. I think veteran drivers are making much more than minimum wage. I was averaging $30 an hour in Portland, Seattle, and San Francisco when I drove. That was on Facebook Messenger. Oh, I don't know. YouTubers are contractors. YouTubers? Yeah. Well, I mean, kind of. We're content creators. We're partners. I think creators are not contractors. It's more of a partnership. I create content, and then Uber sells that content for advertising, and then we split the proceeds. So we're more. YouTubers are more partners than Uber and Lyft are partners. What's the partnership with Uber? I do all the work, and Uber takes money from me. In Chicago suburbs, he was stabbed. One stabbing in 6 years in the city. Whoa. Oh, you're talking about that? Yeah. Form an LLC, form your own company, and find your clients. Uber and Lyft are stepping stones for those that are willing to put in the effort. Yes, if you live in a state where you can do that. You can't do that in California. The commercial insurance required to drive customers in California is so astronomically high that there's no way you can do it. A lot of states are like that because historically they didn't want taxis to have competition. Like they didn't want you to just start your own taxi company. They wanted you to have to go through the existing taxi companies, like creating a scarcity and a monopoly for no reason. So a lot of states, the commercial insurance is too prohibitively high to start your own business. But if you can do it, definitely. Uber has their own system for law enforcement to request info. Yes. I've done 7 in 1 hour. That's my record. I made $48 and drove 18 miles. That's badass. Dude. Okay. So those of you new to the channel, I always calculate profit not per hour, but in per mile. How much money did you make per mile? So if you can make $48 in 18 miles, you have killed it. That is awesome. All downtown, no deadhead. That's awesome. Just drop them off and pick them up. That's what you want. Galienko in the house. Anything new on Tryp? I really want more competition to Uber and Lyft. Is Tryp going to launch in 2019? I do not know if Tryp will launch in 2019. They will do a beta test in 2019. Tryp doesn't call it a beta test. This kind of annoys me. They're like, oh no, we're going to do a soft launch. A soft launch? So you mean you're going to test the app? Yeah. Is it the final version of the app? Well, no. We want to see if there's any bugs. So you're going to do a beta test of the app? No. It's a soft launch. Okay. So the answer is for sure in 2019. In Ohio, Arizona, New Mexico, and the other one I said, I forget. Those 3 plus one more that I forget, they're going to app to do beta testing on. The rest of the country, I don't know. Let's not worry about that. Let's see if Tryp can get a working app and customers first. Then we can worry about when they're going to release it to the rest of the country. Since Tryp is banking on broke drivers paying a monthly fee, that's their mistake. Yes and no. So the way Lyft took the market share from Uber is twofold. They allowed tipping, and they had the power driver bonus. Now, people forget, you live in the glorious days of bonus incentives in Uber. Uber offered no incentives and no bonuses. And what Lyft did is they said, you do 100 rides or whatever it was, 75 rides, we'll give you $1,000 extra. That's what it was way back in the day. The power driver bonus is totally different now. So full-time drivers was like, same rate, same payout. I'll just do Lyft and get the power driver bonus. So that's when Uber switched over to this model where they just wanted to crush drivers and only recruit part-time new drivers. And they went into this huge recruitment mode. And Lyft just swiped up all the full-time drivers. If you can, look, I'm telling you right now, if you can get a customer base that uses Tryp regularly, and I don't know if you can everywhere. I know you will be able to in California because San Francisco, LA, people, I'm telling you, they're so good with apps. They won't care. They'll go with whatever's cheapest. If you can build up a personal customer base, why would you use anything other than Tryp? I mean, that's all you'll use is Tryp. So good drivers who are full-time, if it's successful, will only use Tryp. Except like major surge times. And the incentive for customers to repeat business with Tryp is high too because there's never any surge. So it'll be cheaper a lot of times. What I wish, and they might have to do this if they're not successful at first, what I wish Tryp would do is a percentage model with a cap. So they should take 25% just like Uber or Lyft, even if they want to take a little bit more like 30%, 30 or 35% or something, up to $200. So that way if you can't drive that for whatever reason that week, you know, it'll be the same as Uber. If you make $100, Uber will take 25, you get 75, up to a hard cap of $200. That's what I would prefer Lyft do, but I'm not. They might have to go that model, but we'll see what they do. With Lyft running heat maps, they are losing a lot of money. I have proof of that. Oh, cool, Fred Walker. That's awesome. I mean, it's not awesome they're doing it, but that's cool. You have proof of it. Yes, a fee not happening. I'll only do it if there's no fee. I'll sign up and wait. I'm telling you, that's the best way. Here's the thing. Tryp might fail. It might come out of the gate and just explode and burn and be the biggest dumpster fire startup company that's ever happened. It might be a ripoff. They might never have an app. They might beta test it and realize it's too hard and quit. We don't know what's going to happen with Tryp. Just sign up for Tryp and then just watch my channel. And I'm not saying that to get views or whatever. I'm serious. They're going to debut Tryp in Ohio. I'm going to do some live streams, and you can see if it works or not. And if it doesn't work, well, don't do it. But if it does work, at least you'll have it, you know, be signed up for and stuff. They said we have enough drivers and no reason to offer incentives. They do now, right now. My friend and I told them we have no incentive to turn the app on. We don't. Then I asked why so many drivers, why am I getting requests that are 20 minutes away in a congested area? Yeah, that's one thing I don't like about Lyft is they shouldn't ping you that far away. It's terrible. Yep, it's BS. Riders tell me they had to wait a time, and many times our drivers are quitting. They don't start to pay drivers. Will continue to quit. Consumer and employees suffer. Ubers are assholes. Yes. The weird thing about Uber's model is it kind of sets everyone against each other, right? Like Uber has an incentive to hate the driver, which causes the driver to have an incentive to hate Uber because of their pay relationship. Then the customer and Uber are fighting, right? Because they're fighting Uber for cheaper rates, and Uber is trying to charge customers more money for higher rates. So there's a conflict there. And then the passenger and the driver are really the only relationship that kind of works, but even there's conflict even in there. You know, because you have to worry about the rating system. It's a weird, angry triangle of bad business doom. Jacob says 30 hours a week, 3 to 4 days, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Oh, so that, yeah. I mean, so let's see now. 200 times 4, 800. So you might be one of those people who are, well, then it'd be the same for you. That's about, you are paying about $200 in percentages to Uber. Jacob is somewhere in Ohio. I know that. When's the last time you drove? Today we can drive an hour. We can drive an hour and like less than minimum wage. Deduct gas, wear, and tear. So, I just moved to Ohio. I haven't got my Ohio license yet, so I'm still waiting. I mean, I've got it. I've got the temporary one. I'm still waiting for it in the mail. Once I get it in the mail, then I can transfer all my stuff over. So I haven't driven in Ohio yet. I know a lot of places you do make less than minimum wage. But in Seattle, Portland, and San Francisco, those are the 3 places I've driven the last 4 years. It was pretty easy. I'm going to be honest. It was pretty easy to make $30 an hour. Well, I say it's funny. Once you know where the flow in the city is. When I first started in San Francisco, I couldn't figure it out, man. I was lost in the sauce. For those of you who have been with me for like a long time, subscribers, and you watched my live streams, I couldn't figure out San Francisco. I was like, I thought this was supposed to be the best market in the country. I was getting like 1 ride an hour, and the ride was like $5. Like, I'm serious. I was making like terrible money. But then once you kind of figure out San Francisco, where everything's at, which direction the traffic flows and stuff like that, then it's real easy to pick up on it. Plus, you get those bonuses and incentives, and you can manipulate this and that. So, yeah, that's what it is. And the thing is, I don't like to do what a lot of drivers do, which is just log in and then put it in like a 12-hour shift. I like to snipe time periods when I know there will be profit, right? I always think that work work hard, smarter, not harder, right? So why would you work 10 hours and make, you know, $7 an hour when you can work 4 hours when it's busy and then make the same amount of money, do other stuff with your life? I will definitely fail miserably at first here in Ohio because I don't know anything about Ohio. I don't know where the bars are or the flow of traffic. I don't know shit about shit in Ohio. So I will definitely fail out there when I first here. It's gonna take any city. It takes a while to adjust. And then I don't think that you should deduct gas out of your hourly wage. That's okay, Susan. Since one, you're awesome, and two, you're new to the channel. Stop thinking about it as how much money you're making per hour. What you need to do is calculate the cost for you to drive 1 mile. There are some websites or some apps that can help you figure that out. I've done a lot of videos on how to contact that. Find out how much it costs for you to drive 1 mile, and then look at the rates and see how much it costs to drive 1 mile. And then calculate, you have to calculate dead miles too, obviously. And that's how you figure it out. So you don't have to calculate into your profit motives gas and wear and tear, because you've already factored that in to how much it costs per mile. I'm serious. This is like the 12th time I've probably shown this, but see if I can find this website here for you to show you what I'm talking about. The Art of Being Cheap, maybe that's what it is. Do you guys remember the website? It's been a long time since I've actually talked about this specific subject. The Art of Being Cheap. There we go. I'll put this link in the description for you too, Susan, so that you can do it yourself. There's a lot of websites and apps that do this, so you don't have to exclusively do this one. Here's the website for you, Susan. So what you do is you go in here, you fill this out, right? Whatever, I'm just going to make something up. 2,500 miles, fine, keep all these numbers the same. I'm not even going to change anything. You come down here and you find out what the cost is per mile, right? And your annual costs. So using these numbers, what you change, right? Like, I don't know how valuable your car is. I don't know how much tires cost for your car. I don't know what you get miles per gallon wise, that sort of thing. But it'll calculate how much it costs per mile. And once you've got a fixed cost, okay, so in this car, to make a profit, technically you need to make 30 cents a mile, and then you've made 2 cents profit. So once you know how much it costs for you to drive 1 mile, and you include insurance, you know, gas, maintenance on your car, and this is obviously an average, so it's going to change, you know, individually. Then you can decide how much it's worth for you to drive 1 mile. And a lot of times you're doing rideshare, it's more cost effective to just not drive, especially in markets where you're only making 70 cents a mile. You know, so in Florida, if there's no surge or no incentives, and this pretend car that we have here, that you're making less than 50 cents a mile. So to make a profit, so to make, yeah, let's do, so you have to drive 2,500 miles, basically. I can't even do that in a week. I drive about $200 a day. Yeah, so you need 2 weeks to make $1,000 profit at the Florida rates with this car. Obviously, I haven't filled out the paperwork, but it's the Art of Being Cheap. And then you hit on car cost calculator. And I mean, it's fun to talk about how much money you make an hour. It's just fun. We're used to it. Most of us are employees and have been in other jobs. So in your head, it's easy to calculate how much you make an hour. But honestly, sometimes in rideshare, you make $7 an hour, but then in the next hour, you make 60. You know what I'm saying? And an hour after that, you make 10, and then it averages out to something. So don't worry about that. And also, it takes the pressure off. A lot of drivers, when they get in their car, they just stare at their phone like, oh my God, I gotta get a ride. Come on, get a ride, get a ride, get a ride. And when you're calculating per hour, it gives you this stress that you need to drive, which is why Uber wants you to think about it that way. But once you start thinking about it and how many miles you drive, you can relax and realize that sometimes it's better to let someone else take that ride. Also, when you look at your phone and there's, it's the closest customer is 12 miles away. I mean, do you want to drive that many dead miles and take that huge cut? So that's why it's important to have a per mile cost. We're talking about how Jason is awesome. We all know that. Bravo Go Android. This is a new company too, guys. Go check out Bravo Go Android. He says the 50 to 55% fares in Arizona sometimes. Bravo Go is worse than that. So Kevin the Apachuneur did a video where he got a receipt from somebody where the fares were 80%. Actually, I got a text message from a driver. Let's see if I can find it here. Hold on, guys. Yeah, it was 80%, I think. Let's see here. So let me calculate this so I can tell you, and I'll show you the receipt here. It was 75%. That's what Uber took. So I don't have my phone hooked up to the computer like I normally do. So I'll just have to do that. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Rider paid $9.75. Driver got paid $3.50. Uber took 75% of that fare. That's why I like Tryp, man. With Tryp, okay, if this ride right here, okay, let's see if it'll focus. With Tryp, come on now, focus camera. Let me cover it up. With Tryp, you get $9.75 from that ride. Take minimum fee rides all day long you want to. This is $9.75 in your pocket. And then you just have to pay at the end of the month. Make sure you made at least $1,000, right? With Uber, customer pays $9.75. You get $3.50. Outrageous. On Saturday, the surge here was 50 miles wide, 20 miles north to south, 2.0 to 4.7 on Uber, all day and night. Damn, that's nice. You do not need only to figure out per mile, but per mile less gas and wear and tear. My only incentive to drive is that drivers don't pay FICA SDI taxes. Yes, that is an HR thinker thinking that one. You should do a video about the stuff that most drivers don't know, like that Uber pays cleanings for services. How do drivers not know about cleaning services? They should definitely know. For animals. Oh, yeah. Anything, man. In San Francisco, well, in California in general, sand is a big one. A lot of people will get in and get sand on the, because everyone's at the beach. It's $20 every time someone gets sand in your car. So you can make, seriously, you can rack up a couple $100 just in cleaning fee. Are you still in the Volkswagen? No. We sold the Volkswagen for two reasons. One is, after we got past New Mexico, there weren't enough charging stations between New Mexico and Ohio that we could legitimately drive the Volkswagen. And there just simply aren't enough charging stations in Ohio to where I would feel safe at any time. Like in San Francisco, there's a charging station every block. So almost every grocery store in the whole state has a charging station. So if I needed an emergency charge, nothing was more than a couple miles away. In Ohio, that's not the case. It's a little harder here. You need to drive a plug-in hybrid here in Ohio. So we sold the Volkswagen. There's two costs. Just to own an additional cost to move your vehicle. Yes, but you can figure both of those costs into per mile. Yeah. Rules for Rebels is in the house. Time doesn't matter, though. Your time is valuable. Well, yeah. I hear you there. But, so first off, I think you're an employee. I don't think you're a business owner when you drive for Uber. But if you own your own business, all time is, I mean, it's your own business. You don't pay yourself per hour as a business owner. Well, I mean, like some people do, but that's after the business is up and running. So, yeah, I mean, just because you decide when your time's off and your time is valuable doesn't mean it doesn't. If you have a startup, you're not worried about your per hour cost of the business. You just need to make the business work, right? And that's my opinion. I don't know. I like $10 per mile. Me too. $10 a mile is awesome. Good. I averaged the entire week less gas. Good. But between the rides is money too. Okay, minimum fares. Uber standard cut is 50% plus. Yes. And guess what? That's about, well, it depends on your city. So nationwide, the average Uber ride is about 5.5 miles. And so what that means is half the rides you're gonna take are less than 5 miles long. So I mean, a really high percentage of them in big cities like San Francisco, Chicago or larger size cities are going to be minimum fare. A lot of them are, especially in college towns where kids they don't own a car, they don't know the city they're in, they're new, they just take Uber everywhere. When I started with Uber, I looked at the details and saw both Lyft and Uber cheat their drivers by changing the money in the tank. Yes, it's called upfront pricing. It's not the way it always was. Those of us who've been doing this a long time, upfront pricing is a new thing that just sucks. Rules for rubbers. I would say there's more upside in a traditional business, though. I get your point, though. Yeah, I know. I'm not disagreeing with you. Everyone's time is valuable. And that gets back to my point before. The reason I made $30 an hour or more was because I only drove when I know that there was a good enough incentive or there was surge or there was enough business for me to do it. If I was going to sit in my car, my time is too valuable. I'm going to come home, spend time with the kids. I'm going to do YouTube, clean, do laundry. Like there's a lot of stuff I got to do in a day when you have kids. So if I'm sitting in the car not getting a ride, I'll just go home, man. I won't work that. I would only work when I made money. There's only one station, a long line. Yeah. Well, it's going to change. More and more people are going to need electric charging stations. And so that's going to change. The market is just going to correct itself. But right now it's not there. Get out sand fee. Since when? I used to drive at the beaches. Oh, Susan, you've been too far along on other YouTuber channels and not on mine. Get a travel vacuum. There's a couple different ones. And keep it in your trunk. Get a travel one so it'll plug into your 12 volt in your back of your car. Every time someone gets sand on your car, we're talking about beach sand, not dirt. Dirt and leaves don't count. But for whatever reason, in sand it works. So if you pick someone at the beach and they didn't dust their shoes off and they left sand on your floorboard or in your seat, take a picture of it, send it to Uber, take your vacuum that shit out. Hey babe, how was school?
Where's my baby?
He built himself a fort and put himself to sleep.
Hey, she.
And yeah, you could make easily $100 if you drove like in LA by the beach or something like that, just with sand fees. No, I don't think with regular dirt it would work, but I don't know. You can try.
What time did he sleep?
He went to sleep around 1 o'clock. What's the name of our vacuum company?
Dyson.
Dyson.
Why?
I just wanted to know the name of the vacuum I liked.
Name?
The Dyson Supersonic or something like that? I don't know.
I don't know. I know it's a vacuum.
It's a vacuum.
I mean, I know it's, what is it? Wireless.
Lyft waited 31 days to approve my account and then told me I can't get the bonus because they said I waited too long. Those assholes.
Acorn?
It was already on the bed, yeah, so he must have grabbed it.
Oh, baby. Bye-night.
He built himself a fort, man. He built himself a fort. A rider spilled a bottle of water the other day and Uber paid out $150 for water? That's bullshit. I had a couple of water spills, but I usually only get like $40 ish for that. So $150 for a water spill is pretty good. In Ohio, the minimum fare to the driver is $3, to the rider $6. $3 is a good minimum fee. That's more than they pay. It's $2.25 in San Francisco, so that's good. Minimum fee $3. My new house has an electric car hookup and close enough to the airport to be in the queue. I asked the local drivers if anyone wanted to charge for a fee. No bites yet. I'm drawing a blank. Munchkin, I might solve your problem right now. I can fix that for you.
Are you referring to plug share?
Plug share, yeah. Plug share. I wish I had my phone hooked up to the computer. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Plug share. It's a great app, and you can turn your private charger into a paid charge station through the app.
It's weird that our bed is in the view.
Yeah, it is. But it is what it is. So download Plug Share. I haven't done it myself, so I don't know how it works. I don't know if you have to fill paperwork out or something like that. And then if you leave it in there with instructions and stuff like that, then yeah, you can charge people to use your charger. And depending on what charger you have, you can do it while you're away too. You have to be one of those chargers that hooks up to Wi-Fi on your phone, because you'll have to like manually release it and stuff like that. But you could do it that way.
Did you guys eat lunch yet?
Yeah, he had peanut butter and jelly, apple slices, trail mix, and the little orange crackers. Cheez-Its.
Fat boy.
Yeah, he ate a ton. And I gave him half a cookie.
Oh, he was so happy.
Because I had to take Johnny to the bus, so I didn't want him to cry. So as we were leaving, he ran to the door like, don't leave me. And then I gave him a cookie. He's like, ooh, out.
You leave him in the house?
Just to run to the thing.
For 5 minutes.
Yeah, for 5 minutes. He ate the cookie. It's fine.
No, don't do that.
Okay. Exactly, because we are employees. I figure the time I spend on the road waiting for rides, for this reason, I do Uber and Lyft, because with Uber, you have very little downtime. Susan, have you ever thought about this? This is something that Dorothy did, my beautiful, smart wife here. Wake up an hour earlier than normal, and then set a destination filter on your phone from where you are to your work. And then just carpool to work every day and get paid for it. And you can do that on the way home, too. The Munchkin said, tell her I say hi. Well, Munchkin says hello.
Hello.
Ooh. I have a travel vacuum handheld. Excellent. I'll do it. I have sand in my car all the time. Don't pull an appreciateur and then put fake sand in people's cars. Oh, Kevin's going to text message me and be pissed that I said that. Oh. Just kidding. Kevin doesn't watch my videos. I don't know.
He apologized. You said he apologized.
He did apologize. Yeah. I don't know that I want to do that, actually. I have to deal with stalkers sometimes at my door. Is bright green, so easily identifiable with mine. Oh, she's the one with the green door, Dorothy. Our dreams have come true. Now we can go stalk her.
I want a red door.
That's not what we're talking about, but okay.
What green door?
I have all the screenshots. I don't know what we're talking about, but cool. Cool, you have screenshots. I don't know what we're talking about. I thought they only pay if someone throws up. I've had wet seats and sand. Oh, Susan, you should have come to my channel sooner. Yeah. So, how do we become friends? Oh, man, I'm too old for friends. I don't have friends anymore. Email me, because I don't want to give my phone number out to everybody. I'm not like UDM. For those of you who don't know who that is, that's another YouTuber who just gives a cell phone out to everyone. That's crazy. I had 3 cleaning fees in 1 week. Yeah. Customers get pissed when you have cleaning fees. That's why you need a high rating for your cleaning fees.
No, the guy didn't rate me. When his girlfriend barked in my car, I don't think he rated me. I never got a 1-star.
Yeah, oh, that's right. You retired with a perfect 5-star rating.
Yeah.
No 1-stars.
I
I live in Mason, Ohio, and Jacob lives in Cincinnati, I think.
Oh, I was just in Cincinnati. In the ghetto.
In the ghetto. So anyway, yeah, email me and I'll give you my number and we'll hang out sometime, get a beer together. Dorothy is really paranoid about new people, though. So we'll have to hang out a couple of times just to make sure you're not like a child molester or a stalker or something.
No, I have to meet that person.
Yes, that's step 2.
Out of the
Step
house.
1, I go meet somebody. Make sure I don't get stabbed.
Just like when you brought Dark Road Run to the house. You didn't
Step-
even know him
Step 2,
at that time.
Dorothy meets the person who proves them. Step 3, we can become friends. That's how we become friends. I was doing something with my life. What was I doing?
I don't have friends. I have kids. My babies. My baby. I can just make a friend.
Oh, I was going to link you guys a video.
Hi. Hi, my baby.
If I can find it.
Aw. Did you?
No, it's not on here.
Did you miss me?
Any tips for people who hate driving in the city? I always get taken downtown Chicago, and I hate driving in the city. Almost every day, Chicago burn rides take you downtown.
I don't think you can.
So
Avoid.
I hated driving in San Francisco. So that's what destination filters are for. If you have Uber and Lyft, you have 4 destination filters. Just destination away from it. Or, I mean, here's the thing. I don't like driving dead miles. So I'm a bad. I just, if you get in the city, you just get stuck in the city. And that's not very fun, but that's just the way it is. You are being loud and high voiced. So the king of the suburbs is a driver named Uber DC. So go check out Uber DC's channel, and he has a lot of great tips for urban and suburban areas. And the other one you might want to check out is the Rideshare Revolution. He's a Chicago driver, and he's a YouTuber. Susan, check out this video. That's the first time a customer peed in my car. So you might like that video if you want to check it out. That's great. But I work from home. I love your channel. Thanks, Susan. I appreciate it. You work for a home? So you're an HR person who works from home? My wife has a master's degree in HR. Maybe you could email me, and maybe we could maybe you could give me the insider tips.
Aaron, I don't want to be in HR.
I know. Yes, I'm too old for friends too. Yeah, the Cleveland area Cleveland's the one that's far away from us, right?
Cleveland's like 3 hours from
3
us.
hours? Yeah. You're welcome, man. Yeah. He's been my driver before Rideshare Revolution. Oh, really? That's cool. Oh, Jacob Kelly might be a stalker or a psycho killer. He's just giving his phone number out online to everybody. Don't you know I have literally tens and tens of viewers, Jacob? You're just putting yourself at risk.
Tens of tens.
Yeah. Right now I have 20, so tens of tens, twos. I'll send you a text right now on the live stream. 355 6300. That's a fake number. Whose numbers is this? Pretty sure I had your phone number actually, unless you changed it. There. I'm gonna be a rebel now. I don't care. I have over 2,005 stars and a 4.92 rating. I'm over it. I'm gonna start charging cleaning fees all the time. The reason you maintain a high rating isn't to show off on your Instagram. It's for cleaning fees, because you'll get 1 star almost all the time when you charge. People get so pissed at you for cleaning fees. When I've only had 1 puker in 4,000-ish rides. 30, I think it's 38. Anyway, and I got a 1 star. So always maintain a high rating so that when you charge them, that it doesn't affect your rating. Who cares? I say, yeah, don't ever tell the internet your phone number. In Ohio, Lyft offers 6 destination modes per day. 6 destination modes? That's rad. I love driving in traffic, more money. I mean, I guess. I hate islands.
He's laughing so hard about Acorn.
2 on Uber, 6 on Lyft, 8 destination per day. That's rad, man. Traffic is only good if you're in a marketplace that pays your rates high enough per mile.
Oh my gosh, traffic was crazy today.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. The roads were bad. So in Seattle, it was 24 cents a minute. So if you get like a 2 or 3 surge, and get into rush hour, oh sweet. 75 cents a minute to sit in a car. Okay, I'll do that. Sometimes it'd be an hour or more, man. After football games and stuff like that. Yeah, that's 75 cents a minute is $45 an hour. So your cut of that would be $33 an hour in traffic. I love traffic in Amazon. That's what I do is like around 4:30, I drive up to the Amazon, like the main employee entrance, and Amazon's like a big place all over the place.
College. It's called college.
So, yeah, the Amazon College, where most of the campus, where most of the people got in and out. I park there, sometimes even illegally, whatever, and I'd wait for that like 2.0, 3.0 surge. And a lot of it was local traffic. Like I wouldn't drive that far, but every once in a while you'd get somebody like that had to get on the freeway to go to the airport or something. Oh man, that was awesome. Just sit in traffic at $40 an hour. What are we talking about? Both. I worked 30 years for corporate America. I do eBay now, and my other gig is to sell party light candles and market legal shield, etc. Ah, the true entrepreneur. Welcome to the channel, Susan. I hope you enjoy it. Rules for Rebels. It's tiny. Where's the rest of it? Oh my God, guys! Dorothy. I've been streaming for 2 hours. Look at the bed. Look at my bed. My bed's not. See all that laundry? It's laundry day. I think when I started this live stream, I put more clothes in the dryer too. So I have a bunch of laundry. So I'm done with this live stream, guys. We're done. I'm definitely gonna edit this down to make it a better video for why Uber will fail. Thanks for joining me, guys. Links to the articles we talked about an hour ago in the description. Same with my Tryp code. So sign up. And I'll talk to y'all bitches later. Deuces!